Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Keller, along with Jerry Burrow. I got a lifesaver. It got in the way of the intro.
Gotta save it.
We're moving right along. Episode 5 in this new season of hockey. And the Minnesota Wild, yeah, they're doing so-so. They're not as good as that Vegas team.
Yeah, but like I was telling Jim, our producer, it'll get even with them. They're starting out, they got too much excitement right now, and then, it'll settle down, and all of a sudden they'll go through some streaks.
Sure, they came out of the gates,
I know,
set a record for new franchises, new teams, if you will, and now they're on a 5-game win streak. I think they're the 4th best team in the league, 4th or 5th best team in the league, behind the red-hot L.A. Kings, led by Alex Iafallo.
Yeah.
Man.
On that first line, and Derek Forbert.
Jeez.
Back in the D. Yeah. So, a lot of connections in hockey this year from the Northland.
Minnesota Wild are in the midst of a 6-game homestand. We were a little uncertain last taping, but it is a 6-game homestand. It's the longest homestand of the season.
Okay.
And they lost to Vancouver.
Right.
1-0 loss at home.
And that game, I think, I've been going since they opened up the stadium at the XL Energy Center. And the team started there in 2000. It's probably the worst game, boring game I've ever seen there.
And you've seen a lot of them.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, holy cow.
Wow.
I could have taken 2 naps in that game.
Well, I've seen people nap at those games. They'll remain...
Jack Lemaire.
I've seen Stu read books.
Yeah, he still does. He was there.
Vancouver, again, the Wild opened up a 6-game homestand with a loss to Vancouver. Thursday night, nice win over the Islanders.
Yeah, nice win. A lot of Minnesota kids over there.
Loved it. Jerry posted on Facebook, he said, on the ice right now, and you listed them all, Anders Lee,
Brock Nelson, Nick Leddy, Matt Cowan, and Justin Clues.
Man.
No, it was on Monday. Wait, he was on Tuesday.
That was cool.
But,
all those Minnesota...
Mike Riley.
And Minnesota high school products, not just Minnesota boys. I mean, I guess when it boils down, if you're a Minnesota hockey player, you're a high school player.
That's pretty neat to see all these young kids come back and play for different teams against the Wild.
But how about that Saturday game? A very nice 2-1 win over Pittsburgh, and I say very nice, Jerry.
Yeah, I thought they played pretty good.
They did. Koivu is showing some great leadership.
That was a great pass by Riley to Koivu's stick, right on his stick. And
what can you say?
That was a great pass.
Yeah.
I mean, he passed it right on that stick, and he just turned his stick a little bit, and boom, into the net.
It clicked.
Yes.
Wild will play next. They'll host Winnipeg on Tuesday, Halloween night. That's going to be kind of wild.
Yeah. It'll be crazy because those Winnipeg fans are a little crazy.
Some of those St. Paul fans are too, though.
Yeah. But they're better at St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. We'll catch up on St. Patty's Day with the St. Paul group.
But then we got Montreal on Thursday night.
Yes.
And that team, that's amazing how bad that team is playing so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they're down at the low end.
Or no, 2.
I think it's 2 wins.
Yeah.
But Montreal comes in on Thursday, but then our old nemesis, Chicago Blackhawks.
You know, it's funny, if you look at the standings, the Wild are in last in, is it the Central?
Yes.
They're last in the Central.
But there's only 2 points difference.
And then Chicago.
There's only 2 points difference in all the teams except St. Louis.
St. Louis at the top of the heap in our division.
Right.
And what's going on in St. Louis? Mike Yeo?
They started out strong. It's a good start for them.
You know, considering Mike Yeo, I think he does better with that group in St. Louis. Some coaches are just so good they can coach anything, really.
Right.
But I think Mike Yeo just wasn't working here. There was
like a Babcock or Mike Babcock at Toronto or something like that.
Scotty Bowman, the elites.
Yeah.
But then there's those coaches that fit into certain places, and I think Yeo fits better in St. Louis.
Yeah. So far, he's doing a good job down there. I mean, they got rid of some good players and traded in that, so I mean, they're number one in their division, and that counts a lot.
You know, I don't know if I'm sold so much on Bordeaux or Bruce Boudreau. You know, he's got that terrible playoff record where he hasn't advanced past.
But
is it the second round?
no, they got to the Western Finals about 2003
Well, there you go.
when they played Anaheim. Then they got shut out all those games. It was a
So-
4 straight and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wild looked good the last 2 nights. I thought
Yeah.
skating at least, and they're moving their feet, and a lot of young players getting. See, that's what I like about when you get injuries with the older group. You get these young kids that come up, and this is their chance, and I bet there's a lot of pressure on them because they want to stay.
Yeah.
They don't want to go back down to Iowa.
And I think a lot of the other players, the veterans, look at Chris Stewart. He leads this team in scoring.
Yeah.
Maybe he recognizes that and think, I got to up my game because these guys are hungry.
Right.
They're looking to take me out.
Yeah, because
so
a
to
lot of
speak.
our leaders are injured right now, not playing, so I better be a leader.
I like what the Wild have on the ice currently, and I like what the Wild have waiting in the wings in the AHL.
Yeah, they got some young players, and I think they're going to, the funny thing about the Wild, though, their salary cap is so touchy. Every time they bring a player up, they got to watch it. They're within like $10,000, it seems like.
I got a solution.
What's that?
Retire Parisi.
Oh, but
I'm serious.
But that contract's set for
Guaranteed?
Yes.
Hockey players have guaranteed contracts?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, at least we know 2 of them on that team.
Well, there he is on the back of the schedule. I mean,
Yeah.
we all love Zach Parisi. We grew up with his father,
Right.
JP, with the North Stars, but he's injured.
Yeah.
He's had a long career, 10 plus
Right.
years.
Yeah,
He was a Hobie Baker finalist when Junior Lessard won it.
right. Yeah, back in North Dakota.
Jeez.
Yep. Well, that's crazy. But they got some big games. They have to, they got Winnipeg on Tuesday, Montreal Thursday, Chicago on Saturday, and then they take off on the road again and go to Boston.
Yeah, look at that road trip. 4 games in starting Monday at Boston, at Toronto, at Montreal, at Philadelphia. 2 days off. They come home on November 14th to host Philadelphia.
Flyers.
And yes, I am talking with a lifesaver in my mouth. I do apologize.
Do you have to save yourself?
Every day.
All right.
UNB Bulldogs went out to Maine and swept the series.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the best thing I think about that series out there, maybe, just maybe, they found their starter goaltender. Hunter Shepard played real good. He only allowed 1 goal in 2 games.
That's pretty cool. First
Yeah.
career shutout.
So I'm sure when they go to St. Cloud State this weekend, Hunter Shepard will be in the net.
Barring a horrible practice or injury.
Right.
Yeah.
And another good thing this team did, it's growing pains, but it seemed like they stayed out of the box finally. They were getting too many penalties the first few games of the year, and their penalty kill wasn't doing that good. And so a lot of power play goals against them.
I think that power, the power, I don't know what it is with this Bulldog power play. Even, you can go back since they got into Amsoil Arena, it kind of struggles, the power play. But you're right, with the who they've lost on the back end, they can't afford to be in the penalty box.
Right. Well, I was at a Gopher game, the last 2 weeks I was at Gopher games on Friday night, and I'll tell you, there's a power play that usually they can move the puck because they get a lot of skilled players, forwards. But this is the first year, I think, in over 25 years, they don't have a defenseman to quarterback that power play. They had like Jake Bishop from Grand Rapids. They had Cade Fairchild when he was down there. He was the quarterback of the power play. I mean, they just had great defensemen that are very skilled with their hands and they can move the puck. And this is the first year I just don't see any defense that can show up for that.
Yeah.
It's just weird. to see that when you're 25 years you've been seeing that all,
Right, right.
So, yep, but that's a work in progress, with any team in the
Well,
beginning of the
now
year.
the real test, league play begins at St. Cloud.
Yep.
St. Cloud undefeated. They had the weekend off.
Yeah, that's kind of weird when you get a weekend off that early in the year.
I thought so.
Yeah, but St. Cloud State is number 2 in the nation, and they're playing real good. They were a young team last year, and it's showing that they learned a lot, I guess, because they're playing pretty good hockey. I think they haven't lost a game yet. I think they're 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0.
Yeah, and then after that weekend, if let's say St. Cloud State beats UMD, and they go out to Denver, and Denver beats Western Michigan this weekend at Western Michigan, they'll be playing 1 and 2 next week, the weekend after, and I'll be there.
Wow, it all adds up.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
there you go. Wouldn't that be nice though? Early
that
in the
would be.
season to see a 1 and 2.
Have you been
play.
to that arena out there?
Oh yeah, many times.
Compare it
Magnus.
to, is it a good arena?
Yeah, very nice.
Been around a while.
It's a big center. They got their basketballs. And they got their swimming right there. It's
right.
all a big athletic
But
center.
it's a dedicated rink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a nice rink. I think what do they can fit? About close to 5,000.
Is that like downtown?
No, it's right on campus.
But I know, but is that near downtown or?
It's close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. I'd say it's about 5 miles off downtown.
I see. What else do you do in Colorado, Jer?
Go to the chalet.
Is that the hot spot?
Oh, just don't leave it.
Well, we're talking hockey. We've covered some Wild. We've covered some Bulldogs. St. Scholastica, they opened up with 2 wins at Northland.
Right.
And then they came home, played Northland, and beat them again. So they got things going on. Northland scored 10 seconds into the game, I think Friday night.
Is that right?
Yeah. They had a goal scored 10 seconds into the game. And then Scholastica came back and beat them, what was Friday night, 2-1?
Let's see. Friday night 3-2.
3-2.
And then Saturday night back, then they switched back home and
To Mars.
they played at Mars, and they won 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah, and local boy from Duluth, Marshall, who played his games in that arena at Mars, Jordan Freilich.
Oh, yeah.
He scored an assist.
He played his high school there. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's neat to see him. So it's good to see local boys on the team. I always wanted to see, why doesn't D3 get some of these
Well-
local? But look at UMD finally got the clue, and about 7-8 years ago, they started picking up a lot of local boys.
Well, they got money for these, scholarships.
Yeah, but they always went outside and
But
got.
Scholastica
It
doesn't
was over
offer.
half Canadians.
True,
UMD, for
true.
many years.
And that's something, though, that Scholastica doesn't offer. Division III doesn't offer scholarships,
Well, you got the kids right here. They don't have to move.
but they might have an opportunity to D1 school and they get the scholarship.
Now,
They're that good, Jer.
ooh, okay.
So-
I'm just saying.
But it's good to, you're right. And I think that, I would hope that more of these kids that want to play Division III would stay local. What's going on at UWS?
Ooh, they're struggling.
Yeah.
They're programming hockey, both ladies and men,
Yeah.
struggling.
And if there were times when UWS, for a decade, was a strong organization.
I wasn't here, but I heard in the 70s and 80s they were really good.
Okay, decades.
Yeah, you're right again. You are the man. Them lifesavers really work.
But, who was it? Dan Stauber that was
Yeah.
over there? It did a good job. And, that was a team. Did they win the national championship back in the 90s? They were champions. Yeah.
I don't know in the 90s. I think in the 70s I know.
Or were they runner-up? Anyways.
Yeah, but they had some good teams.
We do this show without computers and what are those things? Oh, yeah, smartphones.
We're smart.
What else you got?
Okay. The Minnesota Gophers, they beat Clarkson, a very good team. Came into Mariucci. Well, I should say 3M Arena at Mariucci.
Whoa, timeout. This is new?
Yeah, they got some money. They have to rename it. A lot of people aren't happy.
Is it
about
official?
Oh, it's on there. The money's there. It's on the scoreboard. It's on.
Everybody gets a free roll of tape?
No, they didn't go that far.
Oh.
But 3M
Be a nice
Arena,
promotion, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
At Mariucci. You have to say at Mariucci.
I think 3M makes the yellow
Yep.
sticky pads.
Yep. They got a lot of stuff.
We got promotions coming.
Yep.
So that's it officially.
Yep.
3M Arena or what is it?
3M Arena at Mariucci. It used to just be called Mariucci Arena.
3M
John
Arena
Mariucci named it.
At Mariucci.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. A lot of people aren't too happy. Everything's going to the money.
Is that perhaps why the crowds were very, very slim?
I think...
Were there some people staying away in protest?
Nah, I think it's gone more corporate. Big Ten conference didn't help when they moved over to the Big Ten conference, and now they said that crowd on Friday night when I was there was close to 8,000, and I say there wasn't 4,000 there.
So less than half full, you're saying?
Right.
What, 10,000 is capacity?
10,000, but they used to sell every ticket out before.
Now, granted, this is Clarkson, but, go back to WCHA days. Does that game sell out?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, all the time. When the WCHA teams come in, they used to sell 10,000 tickets. In the no-shows, they'd check out the seats. There's like 1,000 seats, and they start selling tickets again.
Okay,
resell.
What I said
seats.
was, in the days that the Gophers played in the WCHA, does the game against Clarkson sell out?
Yeah.
All right.
It's still, because it used to be just hockey fans. Now it's corporate where they give their tickets to this group, different fans every night. Get it?
That's terrible.
But before, I can walk around and know half the people there
Jeez.
over the years. I know half because they're all season ticket holders. So I get to know them. We talk all the time. I get stopped. Now I can walk around and not know anyone.
I think the Amsoil Arena should look into getting an old Zamboni put up there and putting a keyboard in it and getting somebody to play the keyboard chants.
Yeah, there you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, those ones.
Hey, I'm telling you, our Minnesota D1 colleges are doing pretty good because Minnesota State won two games over Michigan Tech, and Tech won what was that called? The Icebreaker tournament up here.
Right.
And Bemidji State tied and beat Ferris State in the WCHA, another WCHA game. So, hey, Minnesota teams no one lost this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's pretty neat to see the Minnesota teams. And like you say, Superior, UWS, they lost 4-2 to Lake Forest, and then they lost 4-2 to Concordia, Wisconsin. So not too good. But over at Stout State, the only reason I mention this, they beat 2-1 Trinity on Friday night, and Jack Forbert got a goal and an assist. And then Saturday night, Connor Bellisando got a goal and assist.
Where? At Stout?
Yeah. They played Trinity. Oh, they played Aurora on Saturday, so they changed.
All
and
right.
plus that,
No, they're in that WIAC, so...
Alex Toscano got an assist too. So 3 Duluth East kids on that team did some scoring. So that's neat to see local kids.
Should be at Scholastica.
Well, we talked about that.
They went down to
I guess they
Stout.
got offered, but hey, like a lot of kids, they want to get away finally.
Well,
Grow up. Maybe
That's
not
too
grow
bad.
up, but get away.
yeah. Can't blame him for that, I guess. But
And then on D1, Mears Moore got an assist for RPI on Friday night, and
all right.
and Jake Randolph and the University of Omaha were out at Notre Dame, and he got a goal and 2 assists on their 6-4 victory on Thursday night. So a lot of local action where they're scoring, and congrats to all these kids that are doing good.
And I wish Jake Randolph would have been a Bulldog.
Yep, so do I.
Man.
So do a lot of people.
I mean, Derek's, or Spihar. David, what the heck's his name?
Yeah, Spihar, Dave Spihar.
Dave Spihar.
That was another one.
He chose to go to Minnesota. Though.
Right.
Randolph, Jake,
He wanted.
he wanted to be here
Yep, if they would have taken him.
and didn't work out for whatever reason. We'll, let that be, but would have been nice.
Yeah. Well, the rankings are out. We got Denver number 1, St. Cloud State number 2. Harvard just opened their season.
No, Jerry. Harvard.
Harvard number 3. North Dakota number 4. Minnesota 5. Providence number 6. Wisconsin, hey, they're a much improved team. 7. UMD is holding in there. They're number 8. Minnesota State 9. Notre Dame 10. Quinnipiac 11. Boston U 12. Clarkson 13. New Hampshire 14. Northeastern 15. Ohio State 16. Penn State 17. Cornell 18. Air Force, they're playing pretty good hockey too. And so funny.
And Michigan Tech rounds out the top 20.
And Air Force, there's a Matt Saratori, which is whose uncle coaches Air Force, Frank. His dad, but Matt's dad coaches Bemidji State.
Isn't that neat? Yeah, that's cool stuff.
He's been scoring a lot of goals.
This is really surprising. I don't want to say it looks good, but maybe now that they're in the Big Ten, Wisconsin, 7th in the nation. Boy, I hated playing Wisconsin as a Bulldog hockey fan.
You can tell
they brought a lot of good teams here,
right?
Over the years.
Oh yeah, over the years. I used to go over there in Madison. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but it's changed. But now maybe they're getting their program back, and that'd be good. But so funny. I was looking at they're starting the pairwise early. Usually they wait until the first of the year to start the pairwise. Right now, even though UMD is number 8 and Minnesota is number 5, they would not make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens
because
early on. Because this is going to change so drastically.
Right, but it's going to help. Those wins that they got are going to help them.
So the women, Wisconsin number 1. Do we have a Bulldog team?
No.
That Bulldog team could easily have 3-4 more wins than they have.
They went last 8 games 1-7.
Maybe that's a little stretch. 2. They could certainly have 2 more wins than they have.
I think you're right.
All right. Yeah.
I think they played good enough to win 3 or 4 more games.
Yeah.
So, well, good.
So, high school hockey. The
Elite League just finished. They had the playoffs.
And it was the
Southwest team won the playoffs. They won the league before the playoffs started.
Southwest?
And that's Edina Tonka boys, high school kids.
Oh, Southwest Minnesota.
No, the leagues, there are 8 teams, and one team's called Southwest, one's called Northwest, Northeast, Southeast, North, which is the Duluth boys, Hermantown, Rapids, and then one's the Great Plains, which is like Moorhead, Grand Forks, War Road, and that. So, but Southwest won the playoffs, plus won the league.
Sure, this is just Minnesota kids.
Well, the Great Plains has a few North Dakota kids, and yeah, that's about it. Then Shattuck comes into the league.
Yeah.
And they have them all over the United States and
that is so impressive.
World, really. Yeah.
I think the state of hockey right now is very strong. I know some people locally might challenge that. I don't know how the numbers are locally, but I think now that we're 10 years into having this outdoor hockey with Hockey Day Minnesota, some of the success with the Wild, youth hockey is, these kids want to play hockey. They want to be hockey players.
Right.
They want to be a part of these big events. Hockey Day Minnesota, outdoors in your community, playing hockey. The best high school state in the nation. So I hope that the numbers are good for youth hockey in this state. They're
holding their own.
Yeah.
And they're getting a little better even. And I think USA Hockey's trying to get the mites, the real young kids, 5-6-year-olds into it. And it's how you keep these kids having fun, After a couple, 2-3 years, it's tough to keep them, a lot of these kids, if they're not having fun. So they have to try to make the game fun for them. And then when they reach Bantams, a lot of these kids are afraid of checking because you can't check until you get to Bantams.
Yeah.
And so sometimes there's a lot of kids a little scared of that checking. So that's a little concern keeping some of the kids. And another thing, I was just talking to a couple coaches now where it's becoming bigger and bigger money game. Because if you want to stay up with the Jones and be with the elite hockey players, now let's say you're a pretty good player up north here, you got to go down to the Twin Cities in the summertime, and you got to get trainers for shooting the puck. You got to go to the top like Bukestead, Scott Bukestead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he teaches shooting, and then you had to get skating coaches like Diane or Andy Ness for the Wild.
Speaking of teachers, Tim Cortez, our artist,
Yes.
hockey player, coach,
Right.
goaltender coach for East,
Correct.
he has his own goaltending school.
Oh, when did he start that?
We'll have to get him on. We'll have to get him
Yeah,
on.
that's
Talk about
he
it.
said that. I talked to him too. And let's get him on.
Schedule him.
Yeah,
Good.
we will.
All right.
He's right. He has he comes over here all the time anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do that. But what I'm saying is, now you have to do all that to keep up with the Jonesies, and boy, that's a lot of money. So
Yeah.
if you don't have money, so I don't know if hockey has to start looking at that, and how do you, I mean, the competition's going to change a lot if just the rich kids are able to do that.
Well, yeah. Those rich kids, I'll tell you.
I tell you, those
Spoil
cake
it.
eaters, those cake
Oh,
eaters.
Don't get me going. I went to
Oh,
Central.
I know. I couldn't even sharpen my skates. The rust was good.
We've just got the final moments here of the program, but again, the Minnesota Hockey Connection is found here on channel 180 in Duluth on Charter Cable, PACT-TV, and produced at the studio in PACT-TV in City Hall in downtown Duluth. Okay, so Minnesota Wild in the midst of a 6-game homestand, their longest homestand of the season, started with a loss against Vancouver, but then they were able to beat the New York Islanders in Pittsburgh. Tuesday night they will host Winnipeg, and those are always good games. Montreal on Thursday, and then September 4th, Saturday, the evil Chicago Blackhawks invade XL Energy Center. And the Minnesota Wild then will embark on a long road trip, but
Well, look at
be
this.
nice to see him win out.
Hey, but going back to college, though, Hunter Miska is getting called up by the Arizona Coyotes.
Was he a freshman last year?
Yes.
He would have been a sophomore this year.
Yeah. So
At UND.
he's getting called up, and there's a good chance he might play a game.
Of course he will. Arizona's 0-10.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
I mean, that's neat. And then
Win their first game.
down in
Hunter.
New Hope, Minnesota this weekend is the IIT. It's the elite teams from all over the United States, Canada, and Germany. And Minnesota will have 2 teams, all-star teams they made up from the Elite League.
Awesome.
So it's great hockey. So if you're down in the Twin Cities, go to New Hope. And it's a great tournament this week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hey, look for us on the internet, MinnesotaHockeyConnection.com. Find us on Facebook, please, and then like us. And you can find us on YouTube as well. Jerry, that's it. We'll be back here.
See you at the rink.
See you at the rink. We'll be back here next week to drop the puck.